You can scrub mold off a wall with the strongest spray ever made. Scrub until your arm aches and the spot is gone clean, and in a week it's right back where it was. And it's not because you did it wrong, and it's not because you needed a stronger product. It's because almost everything you've ever been told about killing mold is aimed at the wrong thing entirely. You've been fighting the stain on the wall when the stain was never really the problem. The Mountain families fought mold for 100 years without a single product from a store shelf. No bleach. We march up to the spot on the wall and attack it head on, and we completely ignore the water that put it there in the first place. We treat the symptom and leave the cause sitting right where it was, waiting. The Mountain way of handling it started with two things that cost absolutely nothing, that were free for the taking: moving air and sunlight. That's where it all began. A mountain cabin was built, from the ground up, to breathe. This was deliberate, baked right into how the place was put together. Windows set on opposite walls so a cross breeze could pull right through the rooms and carry the damp out with it. Crawl spaces underneath and attics up top, both of them vented on purpose so that damp, heavy air couldn't settle in and sit and stew and turn sour. They understood, plainly, that still, trapped, humid air was exactly where mold took its hold and dug in. So they kept the air moving through the whole house like a constant slow flush, never letting it go stagnant, never letting the damp find a quiet corner to settle into. A house that breathes can't hold the wetness long enough for mold to start. And then there was the sun, their other great free tool. Here's a fact worth knowing. Ultraviolet light from the sun genuinely kills mold and mildew spores right on the surfaces it touches. It's a real, honest sterilizer, free and falling out of the sky every clear day. And the Mountain families used it relentlessly, without mercy, every chance the weather gave them. The bedding and the heavy quilts got hauled out and hung over the line in the full sun. Any damp item got carried outside to dry in the bright light, not hung up in some dark closet to fester. The chest got opened up and the closet doors thrown wide on dry, sunny days to let the light and air reach all the way into the back corners. They were sterilizing their whole home with nothing but sunshine, and the remarkable part is that it genuinely works. The sun was doing the job we now buy sprays to do, and it asked for nothing in return. But it went beyond just air and sun. The whole house itself, the very structure, was built and then kept up specifically to shed water and keep it away. The roof was built with a generous overhang that threw the falling rain clear of the walls, so the water came down well away from the wood instead of running down the side of the house. The cabin sat up off the bare ground on stone piers, lifted clear, so that the damp coming up out of the earth couldn't wick its way up into the timber and rot it from below. Water was led away from the house, ditched and graded and directed off, never allowed to pool and stand against the foundation where it could soak in. And then, inside, the fire pulled double duty in a way most people never think about. A wood stove doesn't just warm a cabin up, though it does that. It dries it out. That constant, gentle, steady heat radiating out drove the moisture right out of the air and out of the walls all through the damp seasons of the year, keeping the inside of the house sitting comfortably below the dampness level where mold gets its start. A lived-in, heated, well-ventilated mountain home was simply, fundamentally, too dry a place for mold to ever take hold and grow. And that, you have to understand, was no accident at all. That was 100 years of hard-won knowledge built right into the daily running of the house. If this is the kind of mountain knowledge you want more of, our free Appalachian Almanac goes out every Sunday. One real method, sourced and tested, delivered right to your inbox. The link is down in the description. Now, the cleaners that actually worked. When mold did appear despite all of that, and in a truly damp climate it sometimes still did manage to show up, the Mountain families had a few honest, simple tools to clean it off the surface. Plain vinegar was the real workhorse of the bunch, the one they reached for first. The acid in vinegar genuinely kills many of the common molds you run into, and better still, it can reach down a little ways into the root that the mold sends creeping into a porous surface like wood. You wipe it on, you give it real time to sit there and soak and do its work, and then you scrub it down. Vinegar does honest, real work this way, and it's about as cheap and as safe as any cleaner you'll ever find anywhere. Salt was used too, especially on wood, and for a clever reason. Salt pulls the moisture right out and leaves behind a dry, harsh surface that mold genuinely struggles to live on. It made the wood inhospitable. Borax made a fine mold cleaning paste as well. It cleans the mold away and then leaves behind a residue that actively discourages the mold from growing back. And it's a good deal gentler to work with than the harsh chemical stuff. And then there was good old lye soap and plenty of hot water, scrubbed in hard with some elbow grease, which physically removed a great deal of surface mold in the simplest, most direct way there is, just lifting it clean off. Now here's the honest note, and it's an important one. All of these clean mold off hard surfaces well, they do a real job. But none of them, and I want to be straight with you here, none of them, and nothing else either, no product on any shelf, truly kills mold for good on a porous material that stays wet. If your vinegar or your borax goes onto a spot, and that spot stays damp afterward, the mold is coming right back. It's only a matter of time. And that brings us straight to the real secret of the whole thing. Here's the thing the mountain families actually understood, the heart of all of it. You do not stop mold for good by cleaning it. You can't. You stop it for good by taking away its water. That's the whole secret in a single sentence. You can scrub a spot with the absolute strongest cleaner ever made by man. And if the leak in the pipe above it just keeps on dripping, the mold will be right back within a week, every time, guaranteed. The mountain way worked permanently, lasted for generations, precisely because it was aimed at the cause and not the symptom. A house that's dry, ventilated, touched by the sun, and well-drained simply does not grow mold in the first place. So there's nothing to scrub off at all. The problem never gets started. You're not winning the fight. You're making sure the fight never begins. So the real method, the one that actually lasts, is this. Find the water and stop it. Find the leak. Find the damp crawl space sitting under the floor. Find the bathroom with no vent fan where the steam just hangs. Find the closet with no air moving through it. Find the gutter that's dumping its water straight against the side of the wall. Fix that moisture, every source of it, and the mold has nowhere left to live. Then you clean the surface afterward with your vinegar or your borax paste, and this time it actually stays gone because you've removed the one single thing it can't survive without. The cleaning finally sticks. Translated over to your own house today, here's what it means. Get the air moving. Open your windows when the weather lets you. Run the bathroom and kitchen vent fans and actually let them run. Don't let your damp room sit sealed up tight and stagnant. Let the sun come in where you can let it. Then find and fix every single source of moisture you can track down, because that, and only that, is the permanent fix. And then, after all that, clean the surface mold with vinegar or a borax paste. Give it real contact time to work and scrub it down. Now the honest safety caveats, because this part genuinely matters and I won't skip it. A small patch of surface mold is a job you can absolutely handle yourself on a Saturday afternoon. But large areas of it, or mold that came from sewage or from serious water damage, or any case at all where it keeps coming back over and over despite the surface being dry, all of that means there's water and quite possibly hidden mold living inside the wall itself where you can't see it. That is a job for a professional, not for a spray bottle and good intentions. Don't go mixing cleaning chemicals together trying to brew up some stronger killer either, because some of those combinations make genuinely toxic gas that can hurt you badly. And if anyone in the home has breathing problems or allergies, be extra careful about disturbing mold at all, because the spores you stir up into the air are the real hazard to watch out for, more than the mold sitting still on the wall. The mountain families beat mold for the very same reason they beat the cold and beat the bugs. They went after the cause, every time, and never wasted their effort on the symptom. Everybody today gets sold a spray that kills mold on contact. And you know what? It does exactly that. It kills that spot, on that day, right before your eyes. And then the water that caused the whole thing in the first place quietly does its work all over again, and you're back to square one. The old way looks slower and humbler by comparison, almost too simple to bother with. Open a window, let the sun in, fix the drip, keep the house dry, But it is the only approach that actually ends the problem for good instead of just renting you a short truce that's bound to break. Take away the water, and you don't have to kill the mold at all, because it was never going to grow there in the first place. The sources on mold, on moisture control, and on which of the natural cleaners actually hold up are all linked down in the description. If you want every one of these methods gathered together in one place, the Appalachian Way Field Guide has 47 of them, each one with the original sources standing behind it. The link is below. Real methods, real sources, real history. That's the Appalachian Way. We'll see you Monday.